having a really good day. My name is Sheona and I own and run Satisfaction, which is a fabric shop and sewing school. Today I'm going to teach you how to wind and load a bobbin into your machine so that you can start stitching. This is part of our series of mini tutorials for learning to sew, and to get stitching you'll also need to know how to thread up the top of your machine, which is a separate video. I will link it up here and you can also find it in the notes down below. So if you've already threaded the top of your machine or you know how to, you'll also want to learn how to thread the bottom of your machine, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Before I start the tutorial, I would be so grateful if you would hit the subscribe button down below. You can keep up to date with all of my videos. It's all about sewing, tips, tricks, fabrics, things that I've made, and I would really love you to be part of the channel. All you have to do is just hit the subscribe button down there, and it really helps us too, so I'd be really grateful. So we're going to start by winding a bobbin. If you've already got a half wound bobbin, then that's absolutely fine, although I'd suggest if you didn't wind it yourself, it may be worth having a little practice of winding the bobbin anyway. So you're going to need a bobbin to start with, and this looks like a little mini plastic spool. You may also have a metal one depending on your machine, and it's definitely worth reading your instruction manual to check that you've got the right type for your machine. You also get a couple of different types of shape of bobbin, so completely flat ones like this, also some with a convex and concave top, so a top and bottom. So again, check your instruction manual to make sure you're using the right type of bobbin. You'll start with a reel of thread on your spool pin. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use this tension screw here. So we're going to take our thread from behind round to the left and in front, and what we're doing is making sure that our thread is really taut between the two layers of this washer. We don't want to just wrap it around loosely because we need the tension to be correct, and you can see there's a nice amount of tension this side of the thread. We're going to pop our bobbin onto the bobbin spool here, and to activate the machine so it knows that you're winding a bobbin, you push your spool from left to right. On this machine it handily gives me a little digital icon, but your machine might not have that. But don't worry, as long as you move your machine from left, which is normal stitching mode, to right, which is the bobbin winding mode, your machine will know that you want to wind a bobbin. We're then going to take our thread, and you'll feel that it's tensioned nicely around that screw as you do this, and we're going to take it behind the bobbin and wrap it round clockwise 4 or 5 times, like so. What we'll then do is very slowly pop our foot on the pedal and just let it wind round. Normally let it wind around about 4 or 5 times, just checking that it is winding on the bobbin and not under here or on top of the spool pin either. So once you're happy, you can then speed up, normally to about medium speed, and wind your bobbin. Depending on the project that you're making, you might want to wind a full bobbin so that you don't have to refill it halfway through. If you want your bobbin to be wound completely full, this little stopper here will sense when your bobbin is full, so that it doesn't keep growing and growing and growing and be this big that you won't be able to put it in your sewing machine. For the sake of this project, I'm just going to stop with it about a quarter full, and then I'm going to cut this thread right here that joins the two spools together, my spool and my bobbin, and then I'm going to push that back over to the right, and I can now take my bobbin off of the machine. So that is your spool of thread, and that is your wound bobbin, and now I'm going to show you how to put the bobbin into the machine and bring your thread up correctly so that you get nice neat stitches. So the first thing you'll notice is that my bobbin case is on the top of my machine. You may find that your bobbin case is actually at the front of your machine, or you might need to pop off the front of your machine and find it here. This is a top loading machine, which is why it's at the top. If your machine has the bobbin case at the front, then it is a front loading machine. I'm going to concentrate on showing you how to use a top loading machine, but you'll find that it's very similar, except that you have a bobbin case on a front loading machine, and I'd suggest that you look at your manual and read it carefully so that you can see how to pop your bobbin into the case before doing the next part. So to start with, for your top loading machine, we just pop this case off here, just push this button over to the right and that pops off. Your machine, it may also not have this part. This part brings the bobbin thread up automatically. We're going to disregard that and just concentrate on this. So the first thing that's really important is to make sure that your bobbin thread is going into the machine in the correct way. So if you pop your bobbin flat on the machine, the thread should be coming round over the top to the left, so anti-clockwise. You then drop it into the machine, and if you imagine this is looking like a clock, between 6 and 7 o'clock you'll have just a really tiny little catch there. And you catch your thread round and bring it over to the left. So I'll show you that again. Your thread is coming over the top to the left before you pop it in. It's going anti-clockwise. You're going to drop your bobbin in, catch it at the bottom there, and then bring the thread round to the left hand side. So now that that's in there, what we need to do is bring this thread up through here so that you can start stitching. If you start stitching before you do this, you'll find that you get a little bird's nest or a little tangle. Sometimes you might get away with it, it might just be one stitch. Other times and on other machines you might find that it makes a little bit of a mess. So it's much better to do it properly first time. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower our presser foot, and then we're going to turn the handle towards us. It's a handle on the side of the machine that moves the needle up and down. And if you look very closely, you'll see what happens as we keep turning. Can you see that thread there that just popped across? You're going to keep turning until that just pings around there. And what we're then going to do is lift the lever up, take our top thread that is through the needle and pull it upwards. You'll find that creates a little loop, and we want to grab that little loop, and that's bringing our bobbin thread through. So can you now see that that thread is coming from our bobbin through there, and we've got our thread through the eye of the needle as before. Tuck them both to the back and you're done. So there you go, I hope you found that useful. Now that the top and the bottom of your machine are all threaded up, you're all ready for stitching, make sure you check out my next video, which is top tips for straight stitching. We've got lots of tutorials on our channel and you can check them all out via the link below or head to our tutorials playlist. If you're not already subscribed, as I said earlier, it'd be wonderful if you could join in the channel. Just hit the button down there, and we also have a newsletter that you can sign up to and are really active on social media. Obviously, if you're local or within travelling distance of our studio in Wakingham in Berkshire, then please do have a look at our classes and workshops and maybe come and join us one day. I'll pop a link somewhere up here so that you can watch a video tour of our studio. Hope you'll have a really wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!